Hey, back to Men 101. How you guys doing out there? Back on my panel again, Tony D'Amico, Nick Bass, and again, the infamous Derek Friday.
Always infamous.
We should do like
beautiful man Derek is. Oh,
that's what we should do.
That was sassy. I liked it. It was good.
How you guys doing?
Good, you?
Doing very well.
Great.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
You all look happy this day. You know, things are moving along for everybody, I guess. Yeah, always nice to be in this panel with you guys. It's
Yeah, we always have a great time.
great time.
Very enjoyable.
Great crew.
So you know, we always our show is always pretty heavy with men's topics and stuff like that. That's always been the way it's been. So since this is our last show for the season, I decided to change it up into something a little more fun. So our topic is about the mating game: how men pick up women, men pick up men, or how women pick up men, or how men pick up men, and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. Should be a bit more fun than normal. We have the matchmaker Tara Shea on. She's a matchmaker from Toronto. So we'll see what she has to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'm going to want to talk to her.
You want to talk to her?
Yeah.
Derek, you want to talk to everybody?
I do. Well, I'm a talker.
So
It's good, man.
Look at Derek. What's with the scarf, buddy?
It's not a scarf. It's a full dramatic sweater. It's my color.
There's no snow outside
very
yet, man.
Seinfeldish.
Hey?
He's ready for winter. There's no snow yet outside. He's already ready.
I love fall for its layering purposes, its cozy sweaters, delicious scarves and boots and things like that. So this is just a little taste of the freshness that I unleash in the fall.
So fall is delicious for you.
Yeah.
Everything is delicious
And
for
how
Derek
about winter?
Friday.
Not everything.
How about winter?
Well, winter, it has its delicious moments. I'm just not I'm not sold on it for like 5 months.
You know Tony's going somewhere with this.
So
Tony
what's
always
not
has to-
delicious then?
Well,
Which
there are a
month?
lot of
Olive roll
undelicious
it.
things.
Hey?
There are lots of undelicious things, not delicious things.
Okay,
In the
I see
month?
what's happening here.
Yeah.
We're just having, we're just trying to get to know each other even better.
That's
but you
true.
know, like, so anything new happening in anybody's lives, so we can.
No,
It's been quiet.
Trump's still president.
Well, it's,
Oh God.
let's not get back.
Are we
into
going on this again?
No,
we're
no,
not going back
but we
into
We
it.
can-
talked enough
you know.
last week.
Well, what's new in your life? Anything exciting before we get into our topic? Anything new going on? Aren't you going out to Vancouver?
Something like that.
Yeah, they open
Just a
new-
little workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. For my fitness. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That should be good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything on you, Nick? Anything going
Derek,
on?
Nick, Tony, what?
Hey,
Huh?
What's
listen,
new with
you know
you?
me. Names is a problem.
Not much, man.
Oh, pretty quiet.
Not much.
Just having a good time on the
laying
show.
low, getting ready for winter.
Winter.
Getting ready to hibernate.
You know what? This is going to be interesting. Just bring it up because somebody said this to me. I've never heard of this terminology. Cuffing season.
Coughing season?
Cuffing, like handcuffs. Cuffing season.
Really?
Oh, cuffing.
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 Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
First time I hear it.
So, cuffing is where people want us in the winter time after summer's
Settle
over,
down with
settle down
someone,
for the
so-
winter.
oh, yeah?
So they hang out
Ah.
together.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's actually perfect for today's show. It's mating
That's what I'm saying.
season.
I'm going to see what's going on. here. I'm gonna
Mating
chat with-
season.
So this is
Derek,
cuffing season.
Well, I would believe so because summertime, spring, late spring, summertime is when everybody sort of
That's the fever.
flies
right?
quick.
I would change it. I'd call it like spooning season.
Spooning season.
Sure.
Not cuffing.
No,
Spooning.
cuffing is the fall,
Right.
when you start cuffing yourself to people, and then spooning would be the winter,
Right. Okay.
right?
There you go.
Forget about the cuffing. Go straight to the spooning.
I agree.
Okay.
Spooning. There's not enough spooning. I do like to spoon.
There you go.
Really.
We all agree we're all on the spooners.
Yeah.
You're sp-
Not together, but
Anyway, back to the topic. So, the mating game.
Yes.
Men and women pick men and men. But anything interesting? How in the LBGT community that
Anything interesting?
Well, like how they go, how you guys would find somebody to date. Would there be a certain criteria that you go by? Would there be?
A certain criteria, well, I think it's very individual based in terms of that, but in the gay community, and I'm speaking very generally, there are lots of things, just like in the straight world, there are apps. I think that it's just that it may be a little bit more easier.
I'm not necessarily talking about the app thing. I'm talking about.
Why would the gay community be different? Than
I didn't say it was different. I'm just asking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about the same.
You know, well, like for men and women, women certainly size up the man, like whether it's physical, financial, stuff like that. Is this guy? Can he take care of me? Am I?
It's much easier for the women than it is for the men, because, like you said, women have more of a choice. And generally, if a woman says, "I want you," a lot of times guys will.
Really? Even if you're not attracted to her, you want you?
No, But women have more of a say than men do, I think.
Women have more control on who
More
they
control,
pick,
yeah,
right.
exactly.
But you just, well, the way you made it sound was like when the guy's just going to go right ahead.
A lot of them will.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of them will.
I really do agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Even that's what I'm saying. Even if she's not, you're not attracted
An
to her.
unattractive woman will not start picking and choosing like, yeah, I want you, like.
No,
you
I
know.
didn't say she's not attractive. I'm saying if,
If
you're not attracted to her,
her,
right? You
no,
just,
you're not. Obviously, you're not gonna.
But you just said most guys will.
Most guys will, but if you're not attracted to her, you won't.
But some guys still do just for
Yeah.
the thrill of,
Well, absolutely, because it's a conquest.
Playing the
I would
game.
assume that that's a.
you know,
But whose
The game.
conquest? His or hers?
the game.
I think it's a bit of both.
Right?
What?
It is,
What do you mean?
The mating. He said it's a bit of a conquest. I go, yeah, but whose conquest? His or hers?
Isn't it both? I would assume.
Yeah,
Is it just me?
well, I'd say both. But I mean, if the guy's not into her, he's just doing it, you know,
Well, it's a notch.
then it's more for her notch than for him. For him, it's not a notch because he's not going to market because he's not really interested in her. He's not going to market on his notch list.
Is that how it works with you guys?
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
notch list. I don't know what he's
I
talking
don't have a
about.
notch list, but he said
Okay.
notch list, so I'm just.
No, Derek said notch.
Oh, you
I
said that.
just people have notches, like
You have notches?
That's one.
Yeah, Derek,
No.
look,
Derek
look,
puts it on his belt.
I don't.
He has a star rating.
I'm notch free. A star rating. Okay.
You have a
that
star
works.
rating?
No, no,
That
not that
works.
I know of, but he's making up stuff now.
Star rating works. No, but we all have our own systems, don't we? Like we all have our
Do
own
we? But I mean,
criteria.
there's-
Yeah, he uses the Greek olives. So
There you
4
go.
Greek olives is a good thing.
It's a
5,
good-
6,
Okay.
it's his thing.
Right.
Opa!
But listen, at the end of the day, you know what? If it's a game
Yeah.
for the woman and for the guy,
Yeah.
you know, and if you're straight or not, it doesn't make a difference. It's a game.
So,
Nowadays,
okay, so-
girls are starting to play the game just as much as the men
So
have.
let's say you were picking somebody. Give us
That I
your
was into?
criteria. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So give us your criteria on that person.
What I would look at?
Yeah.
Well, usually I'm more attracted to brunettes than blondes.
Can we start,
That's the
can we
first
start
thing.
from the beginning? The mating game. Would you consider it just a casual thing, or mating, trying to find a significant other, a boyfriend, that, you know, or
I
girlfriend
would
that
say
becomes
go for a significant other. Let's say you're going
Some
for a significant
people
other.
might use it for the wrong reason, but it's mainly for dating, trying to find somebody that you have a connection with and see if it grows.
long-term
Right?
relationship.
Okay.
Long term.
Right. What's your criteria?
For me, she, you know, I mean, brunette, not
physical attraction.
yeah,
obviously,
not
first.
over towering me, like too tall. I mean, listen, I'm not a tall guy. You know, so
But
I
you know
mean,
what, Tony? You got caught. We're going to be right back after the break with Tara Shea from mutual.com, I believe, matchmaker. So we'll see you after the break on Men 101.
It was my turn,
You
Derek.
guys. And welcome back. Here we have our matchmaker from Toronto, Tara Shea. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
And you
Thanks
know,
for
these
having
men
me.
here are all looking for dates apparently, so that's why you're
Really?
here.
All single? All single?
Everybody here is not going to tell you what they are. They're just going to like see how good you are as a
Right.
matchmaker.
Okay.
So you know, you have a website which is mutualmatch.com, I believe.
.ca.
.ca.
Yeah.
My apologies. .ca. Mutualmatch.ca. Tara Shea can hook you up if you're looking for a significant other. Anyway, so the mating game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get Tony to give us his breakdown of what it would be like to what would he search for in a woman that.
but you're asking me physically what I.
No, I just asked you what your criteria was and asked you physically.
But as
So-
a matchmaker, is that
yes.
typically what you ask? Like, is that what you start off with your clients?
I get to know them first, so I talk about their background, and then I get to know who they're looking for in a partner. So
Right,
yes,
okay.
it definitely comes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has there been
Sorry.
times where you say, well, you know what, that doesn't sound like you're ready?
Yeah, I've turned.
Oh, really?
I've turned away clients before. Absolutely.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
you know they've come out of a long-term relationship, and their knee-jerk reaction is they want to find somebody
Yeah.
right away.
Oh yeah, the rebound,
And you
the
need
rebound theory.
Exactly, and everybody needs a little bit of time to do some work and
How-
figure it
how
all
mu-
out
how
and
much is
recover.
how much is a little bit of time? Or is
Every
that
person's-
individualistic?
Yeah, I think it's every person is different. So.
But it also depends how long in your relationship you're in for. Like if your
Right.
relationship was a year, they reckon it's a month per every year.
Is that it?
That's what they say. For every year, you take a month to grieve if you break up with somebody. It should take you about a month.
Wow.
But again,
What if you've been married 20 years?
No,
That's a long
you're
time.
in
Yeah.
trouble.
Waiting. Yeah.
That's 20 months.
Yeah.
You wait 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
So, big clientele. A lot of people come.
Yeah, a lot of people do. They
What's the
find-
weirdest thing you've ever heard?
The weirdest thing I've ever heard. I guess people come to me because they've been on the dating scene for a while and it's not working. So I recently had a woman come to me saying that she's been doing online dating, and men have been sending her pictures of things they shouldn't be sending her pictures of, and she has had it. So
Oh.
she's decided that she's hiring a matchmaker to weed that out for her. So.
So you get
Yeah.
the pictures and then you tell
I,
I'm joking.
No, I do not get the pictures. But I'll give you a little secret. Women don't want to see pictures of that. Never send pictures of that.
They don't want to see that stuff.
No.
But that seems to be.
No.
How about my shoes?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure. That's safe.
No, but you know what?
What's
Serious.
your success rate for matching people?
It's hard because I get them to the table, obviously, and then it's up to them. So yeah. So I think that if they start dating somebody,
But you,
so
you
I
must
made a
get-
good
You must get
choice.
feedback.
Yeah, I
Like-
do. So I touch base with them after the date to see how it went, and then sometimes they say, I thought I could date a guy with young children, but you know what, I can't. So as we move forward, don't set me up with somebody with
Right,
young
right.
children. So
But
it's a process.
Do they pick the person? Like, let's say, okay, me.
Yeah.
Do I have a list of girls I kind of looks interesting, or you do all that?
I do all of that. So
So
you got
it's
to
just
trust me.
a one-on-one. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all you
so I
offer.
get to know you,
Okay.
and I use my intuition, and I kind of go, okay, I think I know who he's looking for,
Okay.
and I go about conducting a search for that person.
So, have you ever made it like where you've picked somebody that's not for somebody whatsoever, like whether it be blonde hair, blue-eyed, brunette, black, Chinese, Asian? Have you ever put two people together and just?
I try to, I'm getting to know them and who they're looking for. I want it to be a success.
So, when you
I,
have specific questions, you actually ask them to see.
I do,
What, yeah.
and I tailor it to the person. And I want to set them up with somebody I think they're going to physically be attracted to, obviously, but there's so much more to that. So I want to, hobbies and interests, family backgrounds,
Right.
things like that, religion.
And,
Yeah.
and again, we always speak from a heterosexual background, but
Yeah.
because from Derek, there, from the gay community, do you have gay?
I don't have any gay clients yet. I'd love to take some on. So,
Hello.
Derek. He's gonna give you his
There's
number.
your first client, right
yeah,
there.
right, really.
Hello. It's funny, you touched on something earlier about.
That's what we call him, Mr. Derek Friday.
Oh,
His nickname is Puma. Just
Yeah,
so you know.
Puma. No, but you touched on the internet and on the online and the nightmares that happen with
Yeah.
that. Have you found that there has been perhaps a little bit of a different take on matchmakers now that there are so many different apps and like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
people, it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So which site do they use? And once they get on the site, it's so time consuming to do online dating. I mean, it's constant messaging back and forth. People disappear. So you've been messaging them for 2 weeks and then you don't hear from them. You meet them and they're nothing like their profile.
Yeah.
So
I've been there. That's happened.
that's happened,
Yeah.
nothing like their profile.
How
Yeah.
long have you been a matchmaker?
A year and a half.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. Sorry, I something else.
He's laughing about what I said. Been there because he knows some of my
completely
stories.
like
Yeah. So tell me a story.
No.
Come on.
I already did
Yeah,
it.
I
Put
told the
yourself on the
story.
spot.
What do you mean? I already
Yeah.
told that last time we did this. Like an
Oh, you're
episode.
talking about your ex?
No. Just listen. You meet somebody. Like I remember what I said. Not just headshots. I'm sorry. You can't keep on doing the from the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
false advertising, and it's it's wrong. Take a picture, no matter how you are. The person's gonna see you after.
Right, you
if
don't
you
wanna
meet
be-
them for drinks, you're not gonna just look at their head. You're gonna see them all. They're right in front of you. You're sitting there at a bar or a restaurant having dinner.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
there, you're already a bit peeved off because you're like, well, you already lied. So where are we starting this?
When you match people, do they get to see them ahead of time, like a picture, or
You know,
it's-
that's the good part of my process is that I don't actually share pictures with my clients.
So
I like that. I actually like that.
you meet up and
I
that's
think
tricky
it's
to get.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like obviously, I'm trying to match you with somebody who I think you're going to be physically attracted to.
Right.
So I spend the time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I think we make too many snap judgments based on a picture.
Right.
We're three-dimensional people,
Agreed.
and
Yes, but you still
and not
have to-
everybody takes a great picture.
You still,
So-
that's true too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still really have to be physically attracted to the individual.
But you don't always know that by looking at a picture. There's so much
But you
more
don't
to
even have-
somebody
That's true.
than a
That's
picture.
Yeah.
It's your personality, it's your
Yeah, but
mannerisms, it's how you interact.
my personality might be awesome,
Yeah.
right? And then like not. But I'm saying my personality might be awesome, and the correct. Okay, Nick, no problem. might be awesome, but the thing is, the individual that you match me with might not like my personality
Yeah.
and like me physically.
Yeah, you know, what I do also is I'll ask for pictures of people they do find attractive.
So you
I'll
have
ask
something
for
to compare
pictures,
with.
yeah,
That's
and
cool.
I'll also ask for pictures of exes as well.
Exes.
Yeah,
Oh,
an
of their
ex-boyfriend, a
exes?
girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I know who they're attracted to and who they can attract.
Yeah, but they're
as well,
cut up,
right?
so you wouldn't be able to really
Yeah,
see
that's
them.
true. And people sometimes say that
Yeah.
I have no pictures of my exes.
Hold on, I thought we'd be right back after the break. Man,
Yeah.
one with Terry Sham, the matchmaker for Tony. Welcome back. Where were we about the matchmaker? Yeah, so the Axis pictures. So you have pictures and stuff like that. And Tony's I guess you cut up pictures then. Is that what it is?
No, I don't have any, so it's okay.
yeah.
I don't. I mean,
Yeah, and that actually happens. So I'll say, do you have a picture of an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend I can look at? And I have no pictures of my exes. So that happens. But for the most part, people can show me a picture.
Can I
and
ask you a situation? Do you have sometimes? And I'm pretty sure even women can do this too. But a guy comes there and his expectations are like up here.
I got to manage those expectations.
I know, but the guy thinks he's he's looking for like a model kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he ain't
Think-
nothing special. You know?
Yeah.
He's like, and you're like, well, listen,
Yeah.
you.
So that's
aim a little
Aim to your-
toward your brackets.
Yes.
Yes.
And then that's part of what I do is that I have to manage people's
Reality checks?
expectations, and I'm
Yeah,
a
but
straight
you
shooter and
can-
tell them.
Correct. Okay, but then we had this conversation in the car, right, Derek? You see the man and the woman on the street and the beautiful model-esque looking girl, and the male is heavy set overweight or something like that, and then you go, how? Why?
Because they
And what-
connected
Sure,
over
they
something.
connected. What was our take on it,
Well,
Derek?
we were talking about something that was a little bit different, and we were talking about the exchange of wealth and
Yeah, but
how that's so prevalent, and it's really
But that's so
how it's
we-
portrayed in Hollywood.
This is what we're talking about, this dating game or the matchmaker or the meeting game. I think there's a book out there called Dollars and Sex, and it's now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's about how women choose their men.
Both.
It's how both choose it.
Yeah.
How women
Yeah.
men choose. So,
Yeah.
what is it they look for physically, financially? Why do they choose a guy like this? And I also believe they ran a commercial one time where they used the same several guys, and at the beginning, the guys were in mechanics or construction outfits, and the girls were looking at them and said, "Well, no, that's not my type," and then they used the same guys in another commercial, but they dressed him up like he was a doctor and this and that, whatever, and his financial figures, and all of a sudden, they liked him, but it was the exact same individuals that they'd used. So what are we up against when it comes to something like that?
Women dating a person just because they have money, and I think it goes both ways. I don't think
I'm not
it's
dating for money.
gender. What are you dating for then?
If I was dating, I'd be dating for long term.
That's right, yeah.
But I'm not going after somebody.
So it might, those superficial reasons, like maybe somebody has money or someone's really attractive, they may be that initial spark, maybe, but it's not going to last if that's the only reason
think
that,
so?
I mean, and
You know, I won't. If I was attracted to somebody and they're beautiful and they don't have a personality, no matter how good looking they are, I'm not going to stay with them. It's not going to happen because
yeah,
I need to be able to talk to you at the same time.
Yeah,
But
so-
there are men and women out there, and they go after the one thing, the financial thing, and they really don't care.
Or,
And then,
yeah, but financial order really sexy look, but then they got zero personality. You know, so I mean, like it's important to have a personality, to have
I think
a
whenever
connection.
you're going after somebody for any superficial reason, whether it's the way they look or if they have money, it's not going to go anywhere,
Right.
right? So
It's a short term.
it's
not
a very
long term.
short, yeah, absolutely.
Donald Trump.
And it's
done
all
all right.
and it's important.
How many times? 3, 4? You brought it up.
What got you into the matchmaking?
So I became single at a point in my life, and I started doing some online dating, and it just wasn't for me. And I ended up actually hiring my own matchmaker.
I was just going to ask that question
Yeah,
because you
and-
couldn't really do it yourself. I would feel that you'd have to find somebody else to match you.
If I, as a matchmaker?
No,
Oh,
but you're looking for somebody.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it yourself.
no.
You'd rather have it's better somebody else. And how did that work out?
When I hired a matchmaker, it was a really positive experience. In hindsight, I think I hired her a little bit too soon.
You were
After my
ready.
last
Something-
relationship. So that's,
Right,
I've
right.
learned from that experience.
Right.
It was a really positive experience, and it was great because she did all the work for me. And I
Have you
didn't have
used
to
her
do the
again
online.
since that?
No, I'm.
Well, she's got her own. Why would she?
Yeah.
use yours?
But I'm saying because she has her own.
You're right.
I would think
Yeah.
no, I could be wrong. I would feel that you would probably want to use somebody else to help you find somebody.
So with your own company, have you used your own company to like
No.
find somebody?
No, I have not.
No.
No, I'm all about my clients. So when I'm meeting people for my clients, then I'm specifically looking for my clients.
What are the age ranges?
Well, and usually over 30. I actually have a 90-year-old client right now.
90.
90.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Has to be a
that.
man.
It is a man. yeah,
90-year-old.
I love that.
90 years
Wow.
old. Yeah.
So now you have to find somebody that's in. What's his age bracket that he's looking for?
He originally wanted younger,
Like how young?
60s. And I had to talk to him, and this is what I had to, I said to him, someone in their 60s is probably, you may be a little bit too old for them. So I think ideally it's late 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And does he look youthful?
He is.
Wow.
He's 90, and he's still really active, and
I think
yeah.
I think the connotation we have, especially when it comes to older people, is that it's like, well, I think we think sexually, oh my God, I can't believe it's 90, blah blah blah. But we're still sexual beings, and
Sexual
not
beings, but
necessarily.
But it's more companionship.
That's exactly
at
what I was
that
just getting
point,
at. It's
right?
not necessarily
Yeah.
for sex. It's
Yeah.
about
It's
just
not
Companionship.
much conversation.
He's a
previous
checkers
episode?
partner.
About
Seniors and how active
oh,
they
that
are.
was no, that
Yeah.
was how
Yeah.
active they are in their homes. That's correct, and that's how we had it on with the.
So that's gonna be a bit
home.
difficult.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of 80-year-olds in my database, right?
Right.
So I had to do some specific advertising for them, and
And
I
did-
had a great response.
Really?
So I spent about 2 weeks interviewing women in their 80s. It was great, and
Wow,
then I
that's-
set them
that's-
up on a couple dates, and it was really rewarding.
That's good
I
for
love that.
So
Yeah.
so how does this work then? The guy comes there or a girl comes there. He sits down. You get to know him. You're not
Yeah.
not after the first time you meet them. I guess it's a couple times you meet him.
Yeah, and part of what I do is I also do coaching as part of my
Okay.
packages. So, and some clients need a little more coaching than others. But yeah, so I meet them for the initial consultation and get to know them. And then after that, I have a very kind of like open door policy, and I'm always talking with them and getting updates from them and coaching.
Do you tell him, okay, well, I found a girl that I want you to meet.
Yeah.
And you tell them meet her at this place, and that's where they meet, or like you send them each other
Yeah.
pictures. How does it?
No, there's
like,
no pictures of her.
At
No
all.
pictures.
Well, I don't know. I would assume so. How do you know then if you're going to meet somebody?
Now, pardon, say that again?
How would you know if you're going to meet somebody at a certain place that you know what they look like?
So what I do is I arrange that first date for them, and what I usually do is just make a reservation under one of their names so that they know.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have general descriptions of what they look like. So I provide a profile to them, a little bit like a bio and what they look like physically. And
So it's a blind date.
it's essentially a blind date.
Okay, so
Yeah.
blind date.
But-
We'll be right back after
Yeah.
the break, and Tara's going to talk about some more stuff about matchmaking and dating. See you soon. And we're back here again with Tara. So I was going to ask you before the break, have you ever gone to a place that you've set up two people and met the two of them there the first time and introduced them?
No.
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 So you just give a reservation at a certain place under
Yeah.
so-and-so's name,
Yeah.
and then you ask for this person and then this.
Yeah, and then I touch base with them after the date to see how it went.
Have you ever got a call or something like that where they've gotten to the place and they've called you right away and said, this is not?
I've had two people miss each other. I'm not quite sure what happened, but that's happened to me once.
And did they ever reconnect with them?
And then they ended up going out again.
And and where have they gone from
And
there?
it just it never went
worked.
past the first date. I always recommend, though, that you give it another shot. So I always recommend to my clients that you go out at least 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Because
I would
yeah,
see. Now,
the
I would
tendency
disagree
is-
with that. That's just from my point. I would disagree. So what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if I'm not interested in you from the jump,
yeah.
why would I continue to go out on another date?
How do you know, though?
But I know, right? Because I know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
But you know what attraction can build?
No.
Chemistry
That-
can.
that- to me,
But I totally understand it,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
agree with what you're saying.
Getting.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
and where are you today without attraction?
Oh,
We're talking 30 years ago.
It doesn't matter. It's attraction can build. Where are you today
It
with
lasted
that?
2 years.
But it does matter because
It lasted 2 years.
yes.
but
two
it
good
does matter
memories.
because it's not just about that physical appearance, and I understand exactly what you're saying because we all have a lot of walls and rules that we put up, and it really doesn't necessarily, it may not actually serve you. And I know for personal experience, certain walls and rules didn't serve me, and so I did have to have someone say to me, well, maybe you should reconsider this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was
that
like,
also
oh my
could,
God.
That also could be maybe you weren't ready, even though that the person's right there. You're just not ready right there and
And I
then.
think, yeah, and
You
I
know?
think too, on the first date, you're not always bringing your best version of yourself. There's nerves
Yeah.
involved. It's just an introduction. You don't know
You're
each
just
other
feeling
at
each
all,
other
right?
out.
You're feeling
Yeah.
it's like almost like an interview.
It's an awkward
It's
interview
it's
with
awkward,
alcohol.
right?
Yeah.
And with alcohol.
Yeah.
And I always encourage go out on that second date. You never know.
So after the first, the second, okay, they went to a third date now.
Yeah.
What happens?
Part of my membership is that I have a hold period. So if they meet somebody that they like and they want to see if it's going to go anywhere, so they can put their membership on hold for 3 months, up to 3
Oh,
months.
that's
That's
good.
cool.
That's
Isn't
nice.
that good?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they, and at the end of the 3 months, they can make the decision if they're going to continue dating that person or not, or if it's not working out, then they start up again, and I set them up.
And then, like, you're when you set them up, do you set them up in fun activities or just restaurants or
I
coffees?
recommend. I think for the first date, I usually recommend something where they can have
Conversation.
conversation. Don't go rock climbing or do something like that. That makes people feel uncomfortable. I think going for a walk on a first date is really great.
It's the best.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
You're not sitting across from each other like in an interview type situation. You're
So-
walking. There's conversation
You know Derek's
starters
going to
all
become a
over the
client, right? You
place.
know Derek's going to look.
Well,
I am. He's going to be my
He's got the
client.
twinkle in his eye, and
Yeah.
he's like,
No.
you've got your first
I'm not hard up.
LGBTQ client.
I'm not hard up, but this is the thing. You said no, like to the rock climbing and all that jazz, but for me, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I thought I like the idea of it, like not necessarily rock climbing, but
Figure skating.
because figure skating even because I can't skate
Yeah.
and
I
Would you
think
feel
I-
comfortable doing that with somebody?
no, but what I like, I think maybe I'm glamorizing it,
Yeah.
but what I like about it is it kind of, it breaks down any pretense.
Yeah.
I'm falling over. I can't really, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that vulnerability. Is that
Yeah.
just me? I just kind
No,
of,
I like that.
yeah.
That's,
okay.
I do like- yeah.
I like what Derek's suggesting because you
Because
want to be
you can't really,
vulnerable,
you're
right?
laughing and you're falling over.
Yeah.
and
You're
just
open
kinda-
more.
Yeah, you can just, yeah.
You go to a cooking course together. That would be cool.
Yeah,
No?
cooking course maybe. I don't know about the first date. I think the first date. I think it's a conversation.
Right.
That's
But,
the
but you
purpose
know
of
by
it,
the
right?
profiles of the people that you're dealing with, whether they like certain things. So
Yeah.
then you could send them on something that they like. If they're active,
Yeah.
maybe you want to do something active together, like rock
Like
climbing.
if they both like rock climbing.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
what
wouldn't
I
want
mean, though.
you wouldn't want
Yeah.
to bring a date who doesn't know how to rock climb and you're an expert
No.
at it, you would make them feel like
No,
it'd
absolutely.
make them feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
so. You just want to make sure that it's something you.
Although
both
I would
wanna
kind of
do.
like that scenario personally.
Yeah,
Because then I.
So
that-
right there, you
yeah.
got some more info on him.
Yeah,
He
I
likes rock
know he
climbing.
likes rock climbing
Yeah.
No, I don't necessarily. I just use
and ice skating.
Are you?
So how do you find them? Sorry, Nick, go ahead. You go ahead.
You're based out of Toronto,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
do you set up people only in this area, or do you?
I'm actually
other-
connected with matchmakers all over North America.
Okay.
So yeah, so I can set people up anywhere. I've got clients who have places down in the States, and so they're interested in meeting somebody in Toronto or say Florida, for example. So
So-
then I
So
connect with
you'd connect with somebody
Yeah.
that's an affiliate of yours in
in Florida.
Okay.
So when we talked, I think we were talking about this earlier that, I think we were talking in the green room, you were saying men are much harder to meet here in Toronto, is that right?
That's what I hear.
Right.
I don't know. You guys tell me.
We're not from Toronto, we're
you're-
Irish, Italian, Greek.
I'm
Yeah.
here. Men are harder to meet in Toronto. This is the.
This is if,
I don't know.
I hear people are harder to meet in Toronto as
Oh,
opposed to other cities.
oh,
but,
people, yeah.
But then
I do think that there is in Toronto specifically, there can be a little bit of an error.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
not like.
it's a financial center of Canada,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I think it's that kind of. It's not a really laid
mean like-
back type of city.
No, it's very conservative.
Yeah.
Toronto
Yeah.
is. There are lots of liberal, lovely things about Toronto, but it is still. It can be very socially conservative with
well, we
certain
talked about
things.
this coming up in the car, and
Yeah.
you that it's harder to approach people here. But then we talked about Vancouver, it's because we talked to Adam in the last week and
Yeah.
so, and it's even harder for in Vancouver.
Yeah,
to
and I found that
approach.
surprising because I find it's such a laid back city. But
Yeah, that we talked about. You need to walk
Yeah.
around with a set of jumper cables and attach it to people and give them a little jolt.
they're all
yeah,
just-
they're just all like,
Sorry,
Really?
Vancouver.
you know.
Wow.
Sorry,
Um,
Vancouver. Yeah. Sorry,
Montreal is
Yeah.
the one place in
Canada.
that I've been to that I find is a lot more
It's a melting pot.
casual
Yeah.
when it comes to meeting people.
Well, you
Is
can
it just
talk.
me? Am I
No,
wrong?
no, you can actually talk
Yeah.
to people easier in Montreal.
Yeah, exactly.
They're more open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you
Yeah.
can actually see when you're here in Toronto, you can actually meet people from Montreal, and that's how they sort of stand out a little bit more because they're a little more maybe boisterous, but not
Yeah.
in a bad way. But they stand where Toronto, it just seems a little stiff.
yeah,
And then there's
I
New York
think-
City, and that's just. Oof.
Well, that's completely different.
I mean,
You know, you grew up there, Derek, didn't you? You were
I mean, I was
you know,
back and forth.
Back and forth, you know. But great fun
Derek's-
topic this time because we're like.
So Derek's
you
looking
gotta
for a
hurry up
guy
'cause you
in
got 30
New York.
seconds.
in
to
New
go.
York
Go.
too.
Look, in New York, then who
I
wants
got
something from New
connections
York?
in New York.
No, I've had enough of
The
that.
connections in Montreal?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk.
Well, you got come here, you get clients. We want like a subscription.
This is great.
It's great.
Thanks for
yeah.
having me.
Listen, it's great to have you. We always have hard topics in the show, so we decided
Yeah.
to end with something much more lighter. So you know what? We're gonna go to break now. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Your credits will roll at the end of the show, and people can hook you up, and then you'll get your first LBGT client. We'll be right back.
Excited.
See you back. We're back with Janelle. And welcome back, Men of One here. We're here with Janelle again. She's back by popular demand of Power of Two Studios. She's actually going to show the guys some other exercises you can do, even if you're in regular attire. You don't necessarily have to be in gym wear. Is that correct?
Yes. So basically what I want to show today is that the exercises that we're going to be doing are very simple and very effective. You don't necessarily need to be in a gym setting. I wouldn't necessarily suggest wearing this particular outfit, but you can do it in this outfit. So we're
You know,
going
in
to
the
do,
office, maybe? You know?
yeah, if you want to just like blow off some steam in your office, shut the door and do some mountain climbers, that'd be great, for sure.
Tony doesn't have an office. But anyway.
Office. Okay, so a mountain climber is very simple. So we're going to do a quick Tabata. A Tabata is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 8 rounds with 1 exercise. So it's 4 minutes, and you're doing basically the same exercise for 20 seconds with a 10-second break in between. That's probably one of my favorite things that you can do if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to get a really quick workout in and sweat it out. Tabatas are really great for that. So you just pick one exercise, for example, squats. 20 seconds of squatting, you rest for 10 seconds, you do 8 rounds. We're going to do that with mountain climbers today. So, mountain climbers.
Mountain climbers. I don't know what mountain climbers are, but I'm about to find out.
Okay, I'm very surprised you don't know what a mountain climber is. So basically what we're going to do is you're going to place your hands on the floor in a push-up position.
Are we both going down right now?
You sure are.
Hands on the floor, push-up position.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Derek is going to do the actual version of a mountain climber.
Yeah.
And Tony is going to do the modified version. So the modified version is for anyone who's just beginning and doesn't want to overexert themselves and kind of just getting a feel for what the movement is. So what you're going to do is you're going to alternate right and left feet. Bring the right foot in, bring the right foot out, alternate. Good, so Tony's going to do the modified version. The modified version is literally just stepping your foot in. You're going to step that foot in, step it out, alternate, step it in, step it out. Derek's going to do the faster version, so he's going to jump his feet in and out continuously. And every time, really important when you're doing exercises like this, is you need to be able to control your breathing because your heart rate's going to skyrocket really quickly.
But we know that Tony doesn't breathe, so Tony, you
I'm
gotta
not
start-
breathing right now.
Yeah, but
Okay,
breathing,
so
breathe.
now how do you, okay, so that's a perfect example. How do you feel when you're not breathing? A little lightheaded?
Yeah.
So that's why it's super important to make sure you're breathing through these exercises. I always tell all of my clients that you need to make sure you're breathing through the exercise, and that's just going to get your heart rate down and controlled. So perfect example. I'm going to do it with you guys because I'm in heels again to show you guys that I can do it too.
Okay. Oh, we're doing it again?
Yeah, I'm going to do it with you.
All right,
Okay,
let's go.
Derek's going to do the quicker version. You and I are going to do the modified version, and I'm going to be breathing as you should be while you're doing it.
Okay.
I'm scared
Let's
for
hit
my
it.
mic pack, but let's
don't
take
go
it.
so
Let's
fast,
do it.
Don't go
Derek.
fast.
Sorry,
Okay, so
don't
ready?
go so
We're just gonna
fast,
step our
Derek, so
feet
your
in,
mic
go, so
doesn't
just
fall out,
breathe.
buddy. Again, Tony's not breathing. It's
There he is.
ridiculous.
So I want to hear you breathe. So I like to exaggerate when I breathe, so I sound like a distressed horse kind of. So breathe all that air out. Good. So now let's challenge you a little, Tony. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. A little bit.
Okay,
Pick up the
yeah,
pace.
so, right.
Okay, so
So
20
this is-
seconds. We're going to do this for 20 seconds. Okay, you can do the modified
I'm
version
still
as well
going?
for your-
Okay,
yeah,
20.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of there, Derek. Go, go, go. 7, 8,
I'm going to sweat.
9, 10, that's the point, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Awesome rest.
How you
10
doing,
seconds.
Tony?
How do you feel after 20 seconds?
I'm okay because I was breathing properly,
All
so
right.
it's not that bad.
Well, there you go.
Okay,
So
awesome.
I'm
it's a
just
really,
dewy. I don't feel like it's cute.
it's
right
a
now.
really good thing to understand that you said the breathing's a really important
Yeah.
part of exercising
Sure.
no matter
Because
what.
before I was
You were tense.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's pretty common, actually. I find that when people are working out, they have a tendency to hold their breath. And so when you're holding your breath, your muscles require oxygen in order to function. That's why people get lightheaded, they get shortness of breath, is because they're not controlling their breathing. I actually suffer from asthma and had to learn that the hard way.
Wow.
So when I would go for runs and I would be really short of breath really quickly, I had to learn to control my breathing. That's why it's deep breaths in, hold, blow all the air out.
So has Tony improved since the last time you seen him? Remember the last time you were here and he hadn't barely done a press up, or was it press up, push up, push up?
Push-ups. She saw me eat some of the donuts.
He did have, yeah, he had a donut right before he did this.
Oh, okay, that's not good.
I
But-
guess that's an improvement.
But my question is, how come Nick chickened out?
Never mind. Listen, have we anything else to show these guys so they can for the people out there
Okay,
that
so let someone else in the fitness industry. What's the one thing that everyone hates to do?
There's a few.
I
Dear
would-
God.
I
I'm
would
on the spot
say-
now.
I would say sit-ups.
Squats. People are terrible with squats in general. I see a
Squats?
lot of terrible squats.
Yes.
Yeah. People are terrible sit-ups. Yeah.
Yeah, sit-ups. I
Push-ups
would
are
say
really
sit-ups. I
difficult.
hate
Okay,
sit-ups.
so what's kind of all-encompassing with all the things that you just said?
Squats, push-ups, burpees. You know, I
Yes.
know.
Burpees.
Yeah, see, everyone hates burpees. I personally love burpees. I think they're amazing because
do
they're
too.
all and
Ish.
why do you love them? Because they're all encompassing. Again, it's working every single muscle in your body. It's bringing up your heart rate. It's perfect. So we're gonna do a
Okay.
burpee.
Is there
Okay, 5 burpees.
is there a modified
scared
version
of
of a
Okay, so I
Yeah,
need to like
first
secure
one.
my mic pack
Yeah.
if this is actually happening.
Your foot. Okay.
Keeps
Okay,
on-
so
keeps
this
on
is the
falling on
most
it. You want me to
simplistic version
clip?
of a burpee. Okay, so someone
I'm
who's just
clipped.
starting out,
You're
I would
clipped?
suggest them to do a burpee this way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually walk Tony through it. Okay.
Yes.
So place your hands down on the ground.
Oh, we're going back on the ground.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so perfect. So this is again modified version.
Right.
So you're gonna do a modified version of a push-up. So you're gonna go all the way down to your stomach, all the way
Like
down.
down?
Yep, that's it. Down,
Yeah.
down, down. Go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, good. Okay, push yourself all the way up. Step your right foot in, step your left foot in so that you can stand up. Stand up fully. Breathe out. Modified version, super simple version.
Okay.
Harder
that tough?
version.
No, it was okay.
Okay, another
Breathe
version.
there, right?
Well, I'm
Okay,
breathing.
just checking.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I'm good.
perfect.
I saw the breathing.
Let's
a
see.
little bit.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's
Let's
good.
see. Derek, you gonna do the real version?
Okay, real version of a. Are you up for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we're gonna do the actual version of a burpee.
Are you gonna
Push
walk
up,
me through it?
jump your feet out, jump them in, stand up, jump up. Okay,
Okay.
so hands down on the ground, push up position. You're gonna do a push up. Awesome. Jump your feet in, jump up. Beautiful. Again.
Wait, do it again, Derek.
He's so agile.
Yeah, do it. That was like.
It wasn't. Points his toes.
That was-
He came up
I'm
in the
a
air.
belly dancer.
Yeah,
It
good.
was really cool. That's good. No, it's good.
I'll
It's
do
good.
one more.
One more. So hands on the ground, all the way down to the stomach. Push up, jump the feet in, jump them up, stand. Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you.
So you would do many of these. Just is it to get your heart rate up, or is it to
It depends on where you are in your fitness levels.
Right.
If you want to get your heart rate up quickly, something like this is obviously going to do that for you. Someone who's a little bit more practiced in working out, that might not be too difficult for you, but it's still a great way to do. I like to call them active rests. So an active rest is basically so that you don't let your heart rate drop, and you're just doing something in between sets of like squats or shoulder presses or whatever.
So what do? You do 20 of those, and then
Okay, well, if you can get 20 reps in 20 seconds, that's amazing. But typically, I find that in 20 seconds, people are working in between the reps of 5 and 6. Because, again, it's 20
Right.
seconds, so it depends on how fast you're going down, up, and then jumping up,
Right.
going back and down. So if you're really pushing yourself within that 20 seconds, you're able to get your heart rate up really quickly. And trust me when I tell you, it's a very effective workout.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Because you can't even you get to a point where you're in it and you can't think about the pain. You just have to get it done.
well, I mean
So-
that's.
And it's really great too because I just find that nowadays, as we're all just rushing around all the time, we all don't have time. It's really great because even if you want to shorten it and you want to do 4 rounds, or if you do a minute interval, like anything that you do timed interval wise, it's a really great way to like in and out, get a workout in, and it's fantastic.
Awesome, guys. Listen, awesome from Janelle of Part 2 Studios. We'll be back to Popular Man. We'll be back right back after the break with our musical guest Derek Falls. See you soon. Thank you very much, by the way. Great having you here again. And we're back here after a little workout there with Janelle, and we're here now with our musical guest, Derek Falls, who's been on the show before and back again by popular demand. And this time, Derek promised he'd bring in his daughter.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
How you doing?
Good.
Bit of a different scenario, eh?
Very different.
Yeah, a little shy, Derek.
A little bit.
Not like your father. Your father's very comfortable and sits at ease at this stuff.
You know?
So you guys want to perform together for us, right?
Yes.
That was the whole reason you come in, and people wanted to hear you again, Derek. You got a lot of good response, so it's nice to have you back on the show again.
Thank you for having me.
No,
Once again.
listen, our pleasure. And I always have a problem with names when it comes to the show. Angelica?
Yes.
Wow.
perfect.
So you got into music because your dad?
I guess so, yeah. Growing up, we always went to watch his shows, so I guess it was a great influence on me.
Right.
And what kind of music do you sing?
R&B, soul, I guess.
You play instruments?
Okay, but he gave me the shirt.
I love the shirt. I was just
Do you,
gonna say, I love the shirt.
do you play any instruments?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
So,
So you're just vocal.
Yeah.
So
Plays
are,
a little piano.
Yeah, but
a little
it's-
piano.
I haven't been taught piano though.
oh, you haven't been taught, but you can still play a little bit.
A little bit.
I play the spoons. That's about it.
That's a
Awesome.
great instrument.
You want to go and play?
Maybe.
Maybe.
So who are your R&B influences? Other than
Janae
your father.
Aiko,
Right. Okay.
if anyone really knows her.
Sorry, who was it?
Janae Aiko.
Okay.
Never heard of her.
She's kind of new, I think.
She's kind of new.
Lauren Hill, Alicia Keys,
Yes.
Otis Redding from
Okay.
growing up with my
Pops.
father.
So classic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Derek, you're very quiet there. This is like, buddy, come on. I know she's done it. You gotta like
Yeah, I
jump
gotta
in
let
there.
her, let her go.
You know?
Yeah.
Need to help
Her
me
turn
up.
to shine.
She ain't shy much longer. You're the shy one, and you've been on this performance,
You know what I
on this
mean?
platform for so many years.
She has like a lot of influence, I guess. Yeah. Unknowingly.
Must be a
Grandfather,
great feeling to have your daughter here and also perform with you and follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. All my children have voices. You know, they all have something. Well, she's taking it the next step. So she's a great writer, great composer, and her ranges of vocals is quite amazing. Without any
Training.
teaching, so.
Yeah.
But you've played often together, or?
No.
Just recently
So,
started.
sorry, you've had no
Really?
formal training at all?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, good
Wow.
for you.
Yes, self-taught.
Love raw talent. Good.
Yeah.
Like that.
Thank you.
So you
Nice.
write your own music?
I do. I've been writing since the age of 10.
Music or
10?
lyrics or both?
Both.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive.
Super awesome.
Well, you definitely have the right mentor.
Of course.
You know?
That's where it all came from.
And he came on when he was on here the last time. He was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
You know, a lot of good feedback. Any performances coming up in anywhere that?
Not yet. Right
Okay.
now I'm just working towards an album or an EP by the end of this year.
Great.
So I hope to have something out by next year for sure.
So what you're gonna perform for us? Is this one of your?
It's his song. We're just
Awesome.
going to do like a duo.
Oh yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, because her material is fresh, so she doesn't want to leak it.
Right.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Keep that under
understandable.
wraps.
Yeah, you do that. Get
Yeah.
that out there in the proper time.
Yeah,
For
today
sure.
everything goes right, quick.
Yeah.
So we gotta protect it. Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, but things are So you know what? And what's the song called?
In This Life. It's his song.
In This Life.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Cool. Any reason?
In this life, yeah, it's basically about what we all go through in life. As an artist, being an actor, being a painter, everybody in life has a trait, you know, and a special gift. So it's about what we're going through today
Today.
in this life, and there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in this.
A lot
Yeah.
going on.
Everybody's like, everybody knows that we've touched on that subject. Anyway, listen, we're gonna see Derek and Angelica perform right after the break. Looking forward to hearing you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, have you ever been a victim of an abusive kind of system? Hey, have you ever been a victim of an abusive kind of system as the one we're living today? Have you ever felt the pressure of being under the weather, of trying to succeed today?
Well, I can tell you how to shift it away.
By taking off to another place,
Take your stress
away, away.
And if they ask you any questions about what I'm doing, nod your head and say, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Some say I must be crazy
For the type of life that I'm living,
but that's just the way that I am.
I'm happy that way.
'Cause I don't do a 9 to 5. Some
Wonder how I survive.
There's just no words that I can describe. No,
No, no, no.
I let the angels guide them away.
Through the music that I play.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
And if someone tell me what I'm doing,
They
say it ain't right, I just turn to them and say, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. One more time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Thank you. Miss Angelica.